Hello again, Andy with Handy Andy. And you know, if you're looking for a fun, goofy contractor that's been out here for 34 years in Metro Atlanta, that pretty much does everything, this is a great job to scope us out. We built this fence for all of these customers in here 5 years ago. The gates are still perfectly straight. You look at the gutters. We talk about these gutters all the time. Her gutter helmets weren't working anymore because we forgot to clean them for her last year, so they were clogged up. Gutter helmets are great, but you see this top edge right here, that curve on the dark? You gotta hand clean that once a year. They just won't work. So it's a good system as long as you maintain it and keep it clean. If you don't, you're gonna have trouble. And she was starting to get rotted windows. So here, you can't see it, but both of these windows on this side of the house have been repainted. We one coated them for right now because she's gonna have to come back next year and repaint the whole house. This was all painted by hand. We painted and repaired, replaced the nose right here, the nose right here, custom made. We made them right here. We don't buy the finger jointed Home Depot stuff. That's why all her stuff rotted out. She had noses up here, and these two windows were rotted out. These windows. So they all got painted. These over here, I don't think anything was rotted. I think some of the trim had to be re-nailed. They painted that. They painted all these windows here. She had another rotted nose over here on this garage window. I get tired, so I may have shot an earlier video right here. So this nose is right here, this front piece right here. And you'll see people piece those in. That's a mistake. Can't piece noses in. Sills you can, which is what the window sits on right here. But we're a one call does all type company. You can trust us. We're a little slow to respond to phone calls sometimes. My brother and I are working contractors. We're in the field. We're not sitting around in a truck or at a desk. We're busy. Sorry for the dogs barking. We built this fence 5 years ago, and this thing is just a beautiful work of art. My boys are still proud of this. Pergola, all of it. You guys talk about fence builders and deck builders and all this stuff. This gate hasn't moved in 5 years. Look at that. You know, and the real beauty of this fence, the other part of this story was 5 years ago, we were in the middle of COVID. You couldn't buy pressure treated wood. This came from Tennessee. I got friends in moonshine country, and they had a bunch of it stockpiled. So we did fences for this neighbor behind here, the next yard, the yard behind this one, the one over there. All this fancy fence you see around the yard, we did it. And 5 years later, it still looks great. Did a lot of carpentry work on that house over there, painted that house. Now here's the thing we just finished for Julie. She had 5 quotes from this thing. From $2,500 to almost $30,000. We were in the middle of that somewhere. But look at it. So we salvaged what we could. This wasn't a completely new deck. We saved a lot of her framing with cedar, pressure treated. We saved it. Some of the railing we saved. The steps were falling down. We had to rebuild these things. You can drive a tank on this thing. Solid 6x6 posts, set in concrete. It's not going anywhere. Nowhere. The guy that was going to do it for $2,500, he was going to pressure wash, clean it up. The previous deck was painted, and if we showed you some of the wood, you can't paint a deck. It'll dry rot, and that's what happened here. This deck was replaced by somebody else about 6 years ago. She only got 6 years out of it. So we did it this time. See how nice it looks? Everything looks nice when it's fresh. Now, sometimes you'll come to a new deck, and all the wood will be all split up. You don't see any splits on this deck. What we did is we hand drill every hole, pilot hole, and then countersink the screw so it's flush with the wood. There's some extra material we got to come back and get on the truck that we didn't use. But look at the deck. It's probably a little hard in the sunshine. So So once it cures out in 3 months, 90 days cure out new wood, we will have to spot prime and repaint the railing to save it because it's been painted before. All this new wood will get stained with 2 coats as a separate little project in the fall. But we're a one call does it all type company. When she first bought this house 6 years ago, I think, we redid part of this chimney up here. We redid a bunch of windows. It's a pretty cool company. I couldn't find this company 34 years ago, so I founded it myself. I'm a 4th generation contractor. I'm terrible to get on the phone, but outside of that, our work is solid. And that's why people like Julie use us for 20 years. That's why. She got cheaper prices. Once we showed her what was going on, the top end price really wasn't a bad price for what he was proposing to do. He wanted to tear it down and rebuild the whole thing. And so we didn't do that. We saved her framing. And you can kind of see it from here. It's a beautiful deck. Beautiful, beautiful deck. We had to custom order that 20-footer right there. We can't get that in stock anymore. But all good wood, and even premium wood, like that's what all this was. We still had some splits and knots and stuff we weren't happy with. It's very, very hard to get quality pressure treated wood right now. The stuff you're getting at Home Depot and Lowe's, not to knock them, but that's not for us. We won't use that. But this deck will be here for 20 years. Guaranteed, as long as she maintains it. Anyway, I'm Andy with Handy Andy. My boys are really proud of that deck. They were celebrating that today. And they're particularly proud of this fence back here that after 5 years, it still looks like really the piece of art that it is. Anything you need to have done, just be patient with us. Once you are a customer, we just had a customer call us this week. They flooded their house, their condensate line clogged and made a huge mess. We pulled the guys and sent them down to fix it. So once you're with us, it's like family here. Just be patient with us. But whatever you got going on, we do it pretty much, except for air conditioning and swimming pools. Everything else, you can trust old Handy Andy. See you at the next house. Bye for now.